we are live.
Oh, cool.
All right, so we're gonna watch. This is gonna be 52 minutes of Mars and Beyond.
Yeah. By minute 45, this Canadian club is going to absolutely smack me, and I'm just going to be stupid noises. Ah. Oh no. Oh, that's got the intro. Right. I was like, what's Tinkerbell got to do with Mars?
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
Unless you're a Jew, then you can go back to where you came from, filthy damn Jews. Walt Disney, everybody. I, for one, am okay with Jews. I don't know any, unfortunately. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, that is bad. Not to mention, Davy Crockett with fairy wings looks great. Davy Crockett on ice looks amazing this time of year.
Adventureland, the
Wonder world of nature's own realm.
Yeah. Australia, what's there? We don't know.
Fantasyland, the happiest kingdom of them all.
Yeah. Unless you talk about the massive impoverished peasants that we have. Because we have a lot.
Mars and Beyond.
Mm.
Ah!
Oh! Hello, Walt. I didn't see you there, buddy.
Here is your host, Walt Disney.
Thank you, Garco. In this exciting age when everyone seems to be talking about the future possibilities of space travel,
I'm sorry,
There is much
Garco
speculation
is
on what
giving
we
me
will discover
serious
when we
Terminator
visit our
vibes.
Yeah.
will we find planets with
It
only
looks
a local
like the robot that pulls the OCP robot that's a person and it rips its own like helmet off and kills itself.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
RoboCop
You know what I mean? The skeleton.
2.
Yes. That's what it looks like. Also, that's going to be Abraham Lincoln in the next fucking, you know, when they've got those animatronics? That's who Abraham Lincoln is. It's just Garco, like, oh, it's a living.
His only concern was for food and companionship. With the sun,
Well, he's got a plain wife.
bringing warmth and light. With the stars came the night, bringing darkness and fear. Later, when man
no.
became a shepherd, he spent more time contemplating the mystery of the stars.
Oh, sick, the Big Dipper, dude. Wow, gnarly.
Things. Possibly the children of the moon breaking away when the moon grew smaller.
What?
Then he noticed the reappearance of star formations he had seen before. Where had they come from? And where were they going? An important discovery. The stars fell into the sea. Man's conception of his world had expanded. The earth was an island floating in water, circled by a glittering ring of heavenly objects. As man learned to till the soil, he associated the stars with events of good and evil. When the bull was in the heavens, he planted his crops. This was good. Aquarius, the water carrier, brought the rains. This was
Seasons.
also good. With the Virgin of
Yeah, no, we understand the basics of seasons, my guy.
This was very good.
Yeah, and when the Great Astarte appears, you kill your firstborn son. I get it. I'm Phoenician, for fuck's sake. I understand basic sacrifice of my firstborn son. Were I to have one, he would be sacrificed on the altar.
He sought a more logical explanation for the
Sick
earth
beard.
and the heavens above. The earth, he thought, must be flat with its roots deep in celestial waters.
God. This is where the flat earthers are just like, proof right here!
Easier passage for the
Oh,
stars
God.
in their nightly journey.
You can see them like being like, yes, Disney was one of us! You're like, oh no.
Great strength. To support
Oh,
the
fuck yeah,
elements, he
Discworld.
added a gigantic tortoise who pulled the universe through cosmic waters with infinite slowness.
What?
The Egyptians, who loved to draw, represented Earth as a reclining figure.
You know that thing where it's like, name a movie wrong or something? Like,
While the
that.
sun and
The Egyptians, they love to draw!
forth in a small boat.
Just, Jesus fuck me.
The Greeks were among the first learned men of astronomy. These great philosophers gave the world many profound conceptions of Earth and space.
Such as oil and
I have found the
slave
Earth
boys.
in the perfect shape of a cube, standing in the center of the universe, with all other heavenly bodies scattered round and about.
That's such a Greek answer.
Had this to say: being in the center of the universe, the Earth is assailed by the rotating ether, which tears away bits of Earth, flinging them outward, setting them afire, creating stars and planets. Then there was Aristarchus.
Gentlemen, I disagree. The sun is obviously in the center, with the Earth and other planets traveling in circular paths. And thus, the sun in...
Finally, there was Ptolemy.
Learned men of science, I have listened to all your arguments. I now decree that our great Earth stands immovable as the hub of the universe. The
That man had
supreme
crazy eyes.
center of intelligent thinking.
Yeah, but his name was Proteus.
Thus, Ptolemy's decree was blindly accepted as the law of science.
Ptolemy even, fuck. It was like not even 3 seconds, and I'd forgotten the man's name.
Black period of
Yeah, it's alright. He doesn't do anything important.
superstition.
And sorcery. Ew.
This just looks like Walt Disney drawing what he thinks a Jewish person
With
is.
the Renaissance came a
Just
learned
different, like, interpretations of what he understands a Jew to be.
Nicholas Copernicus. He proved mathematically that the Earth was not the center of the universe, but was merely one of many planets circling the glowing sun. In 1610, Galileo published his Sidereus Nuncius, in which he vividly described the wonders of the heavens as seen through that great new invention, the telescope. The planets were not spots of light, but were spheres like the Earth. Jupiter had belts of color. Venus had phases like the moon. Saturn had a gorgeous ring. And Mars was round and red. People
We've always had a fascination with Mars, haven't we?
Yeah.
Why Mars, you
First
think?
to describe people of other planets was the romantic Frenchman Bernard
Ooh.
de Fontenelle.
Wow. Romantic indeed.
Lady in a garden, he discusses with her the possibility
While walking with a young lady. Like, the fact of walking where he was.
of learning astronomy. The sun is a boiling ball of liquid gold. The inhabitants cannot see these riches. They are blind. Mercury is so close to the sun that the people are crazy with the heat. Venus is the planet of passion. People do not cook because they live on air, music,
The fuck?
and love. The men of Saturn are cold and miserable. They never
The little
forget
chin wiggle.
where they are born. Jupiter is so big that people never see or meet other people.
Oh.
Mars is very populated with luminous birds who do not
I love the idea of War of the Worlds meets birds.
In Sweden, a philosopher's
Oh,
conception
I thought he was about to say what happens in Sweden like it's a planet.
that the people of Mercury are very thin. They have tremendous memories. Their cattle are
What?
extremely small.
What?
The natives of Jupiter are pretty. They do not lie or steal, but they are terrified at the sight of their giant Jupiter-type horses.
Jupiter type horse.
There are two
Jupiter
kinds
pattern
of people
horse.
on Venus. Mild people and fierce people. The
Oh.
inhabitants of Mars are clothed in fibers. They converse by means of thought transference.
Wow,
During
this
the
is some-
19th century, Mars was more and more regarded as the planet most likely to harbor life, especially when astronomers thought they saw specks of light appear on the surface of the red planet.
I thought it said help.
People believed that these were attempts to signal the Earth, and immediately plans were laid to build a gigantic mirror to return the friendly greetings.
What?
Later, Kurt Laswitz thrilled the world with his story about a crew of Earthmen who are captured by a magnetic Martian spaceship. The Earthmen are taken to Mars, where they are wined and dined on synthetic food.
Whoa. Psychedelic.
In a story by Robert Brain called Messages from Mars, a sailor is marooned on a lonely island off Madagascar.
He doesn't look
He discovers
marooned.
a rare and powerful telescope planet, which he
Ah, yes.
focuses on Mars. The Martians he sees are exactly 10 feet tall. Their favorite culture is music, which they inhale in great quantities through their noses.
Wow, this does feel like an acid trip.
As the 20th century dawned,
Yeah.
H.G. Wells excited countless
Yes.
imaginations.
Yes, the good shit.
On Mars. In his War of the Worlds, he describes an invasion of the Earth by octopus-like creatures who are encased in giant fighting machines.
Give them the Thunder Child.
And poisonous gases, they are quite invincible.
They won't, because they don't even know the English one exists. They think it's a B-17. Cover your sneezes. God damn it. Wash your hands.
Wear a mask.
Stay 6 feet apart.
He reasoned that plants would
That's what they do,
move
isn't it?
forward
Stay
and
6
thinner
feet apart.
than the gravity of Mars, and insects would probably be larger than those on Earth. The Martian animals, covered with fur or feathers during winter, would lose their covering with the coming of summer.
How are they attached? Oh, okay. Thank you.
People of Mars would probably walk on their hind legs, their barrel-chested bodies covered with a coating of down.
Wow, is that what people think when they think barrel-chested? I think the other way around.
And their trunk-like noses indispensable for feats of engineering.
What?
Edgar Rice Burroughs
What?
supplied his readers with a complete Martian dictionary. Barsoomian, warlike people of Mars.
Ah, yes.
Human bipeds with variegated color characteristics. Banth, Martian lion, dwells in Dead Sea areas, is carnivorous, has 10 legs.
Jesus.
Kalat, a pony-sized Martian dog with a frog-like head. Thoth, a dog-sized Martian horse with about 8 legs.
What were these?
Alien.
Martian plant man, half human, half
Plant man.
10 feet tall, has one white ringed protruding eye.
Is this, John Carter type stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Which is now also Disney.
Yep. I want to know what these people were
Through the years,
smoking.
there have
Thank
been
you.
frequent rumors that Martians disguised as Earthmen walk amongst us. These stories are perhaps strengthened by the thousands of reports of unidentified flying objects passing in an endless procession
Yeah.
across our skies.
Ah, cigar ships.
Today, a space-conscious public avidly consumes tons of story material about life on other planets. A typical cosmic soap opera usually begins
Oh,
at
God.
a very ultra-secret government space
And a
project.
very ultra secret. Jesus, that general is packing.
Is a young electronics genius who is always busy formulating new laws of thermodynamics and astrophysics. The heroine is his secretary, efficient, hardworking, and rather attractive. Of course, the villain is a mechanical robot from Mars. He is usually controlled by a Martian mastermind whose appearance is too horrible to reveal at this time. The escape device is a late model electrophlegmatic flying saucer.
Late model.
The story.
Phlegmatic.
Yeah, no, it's a late model as different
Oh,
from an
yeah,
early
cool,
model,
that's-
from an early model because it actually uses electrophlegmatic propulsion.
Yeah. And its flux capacitor is like at least 2 gigawatts less.
At least. Minimum.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point? It may as well be a mid model. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And the mid models never really caught on. I mean,
No. Look,
they were really too expensive, and
Yeah. there was people down the street from me. They had a mid model, and they always had it breaking down. Could never get it to work.
Yeah. The quality control there just wasn't there. Like,
Yeah.
it was like
Well, that was the space depression.
It was like Leyland in the 1970s, space communists.
Yeah. Yeah. The Tau had got in, and they'd really fucked things around, and
All right,
Yeah.
so let's continue.
Yep.
The lack of some precious element on Mars, such as
Glad they're bringing in facts into it, though.
or women.
Yeah, the idea that they're coming to steal our women is both, like, insulting and a compliment. Like, we have the most beautiful women in the world. Like, oh, thank you! And also, why? Like, that the entire galaxy think we have what beauty looks like. Ah, glad there's arrows pointing to where Mars is. What the shit were these people on? Ah, but they've got human animals and insects. Good. I've seen Japanese hentai, I don't know where this is going.
How did...
Jeez! How did she survive that and that? What?
You're making it worse, lady. You're
Also,
making...
right now, if her name isn't Ellen Ripley, I don't want to watch anymore. She has been, like, survived every... What the fuck?
That's the first... I've seen this before. That's the first time I noticed Donald Duck. Like... Oh.
This is Mad Max Fury Road, the, like... This is Fury Road, the fucking prequel. 50 story, this is completely the other way around. You know what I mean? Like, woman gets captured, saves herself.
Gentlemen, after due consideration and thorough calculation, it is my unequivocal opinion that there is absolutely no life on the planet Mars.
How wrong he was! The red planet! Because it's communists!
As modern science seeks to understand the miracle of creation, it sees an infinite universe, cold and dark,
Hostile.
inconceivably vast,
Needing of
without
capitalism.
beginning, without end. Across this cosmic void, trillions of island universes move. In one of these, the Milky Way, our sun is but a tiny star among 300 billion other stars or suns.
Stars or suns?
Estimate that 30 billion of these suns have captive planets. Since the laws of creation appear to be universal, it is almost certain.
Are we doing the Drake's equation right now?
Yes.
Life in the dawn of evolution.
Fucking hell.
Life in the twilight of existence. Life where
Like, I didn't even notice we're in the Drake's equation. Like, oh.
beyond the stage of man. As an example of how the wonders of life may be evolving
I'm
with
kind of
infinite
envious,
variation.
because I've tried to explain Drake's equation many times to people, and they're just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm like, I must be explaining it wrong.
From its misty
It's simple maths, people.
Yeah! That's what I thought, and I don't know maths.
pressure of starlight gradually compresses billions of tiny particles into a tremendous cloud of dust and gas.
On a completely unrelated topic, Bob Ross is live on Twitch.
Ah, cool!
Gravity, until in the hot, glowing center, the sun is born.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Whirlpools of heavy elements form the planets to circle in permanent orbits around the sun.
Nothing is permanent.
Begins to cool and shrink. Its molten crust
Except for the
pouring
Walt
out
Disney
dense
Corporation.
clouds of steam and carbon dioxide.
They never end.
In these primeval
Can't stop, won't
vapors,
stop.
The stage of life is set. Steam condenses to rain. For centuries, great torrents of water tear at the rocky face of the earth, creating the vast oceans. For centuries, rich salts and minerals are washed from the land and carried down to the sea. A billion years
When does
have
is it
passed.
Theta? Thea?
Now the warm
That moon? When does that hit us?
is the cradle of
Or do they not know about? No, they don't know about this shit.
gathered all the elements of nature from which life will emerge.
Also, again, explaining that to people,
Wait
like-
a second. I just realized something.
yeah,
Okay, so Mars and Beyond is from the 1957 Tomorrowland segment.
right,
And it originally aired on December 4th, 1957. Season
Right.
4, Episode 12. That's what it's from.
yeah.
The Drake equation was written in 1961.
What?
This predates the Drake equation.
But it's almost fundamentally everything the Drake equation is.
Yeah.
Who wrote the Drake's equation? It wasn't someone that worked on the show or something like that, was it?
Okay, so it was Frank Drake that
Obviously.
wrote it.
We're gonna do this right now, and in the credits, it's gonna say like Frank Drake, like lead, alien life guy.
Okay, so he enrolled at Cornell on an NROTC scholarship. He began studying astronomy on the Navy's payroll, by the way. His ideas about the possibility of extra life were reinforced by a lecture from astrophysicist Otto Struve in 1951. He briefly served as an electronics officer on the USS Albany. He went on to graduate Harvard to study radio astronomy. His hobbies included the cultivation of orchids and lapidaria.
Right. I mean, everyone's got to have a hobby, I suppose.
Yeah.
They don't say Adolf Hitler, mass murdering psychopath. Also, hobby painter.
Although explicitly linked with modern views on the likelihood and detectability of extraterrestrial civilizations, Drake started his career undertaking radio astronomical research at the National Radio Observatory in Green Bay, West Virginia, and later the JPL. He spearheaded the conversion of the Arecibo Observatory to a radio astronomical facility. He was involved in early work on pulsars. He was a professor at Cornell and director of the National Astronomy and Ionosphere Center. In 1974, he wrote the Arecibo message. These pioneers, he co-designed the Pioneer plaque with Carl Sagan. Yada yada yada. He is currently professor of astronomy and astrophysics at the University of California at Santa Cruz, where he served as the Dean of Natural Scientists for 4 years. He's best known for SETI and the Drake equation.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever involved in Walt Disney.
Okay, so the sheer fact that the Drake equation has just been explained to us, but hasn't actually been written yet, it's fucking mind-boggling. Maybe he watched the show and was like, yes! Or he remembered it from, when he was younger.
Yeah.
Because that's freaky deaky.
Well, the best way I can think of it is, this explains the Drake equation without actually being the actual equation.
Yeah.
Because
And not to mention, this would be secondary evidence to support Drake's equation, because someone else has come up with the maths and the same equation type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if you look at the Drake equation as a mathematical equation, even I go,
Yeah, no, I don't. I try not to look at maths in general, just in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Because
Well, the thing is that I have a master's in astronomy. I should be able to look at it without my brain frying. But
yeah, you should.
it's just the fact that with me especially is as soon as I look at it, I immediately start wanting to plug in numbers.
Yeah.
Which
Look.
which unfortunately with the Drake's equation is that's where all the criticism comes from, because where do you start?
Yeah. How do I disprove you? Because I don't understand what I'm looking at.
Exactly. All right, so we got 33 minutes left, so
Yeah. Glad we spent that time.
Is
Hang on.
first link in the chain of living
Have we been 20 minutes in and we've like barely touched on Mars, only like a few times to talk about its science fiction approach?
in millions of intricate structures.
Wait, what's this called? Mars in the universe or something?
Mars and Beyond.
Compound.
Oh, okay, that's alright then.
In the slow course of time, some are transformed into proteins, the foundation of all life.
Is that a phone cord from a landline phone?
Other elements
Nope.
to produce millions of
God, that would make so much more sense. Everything's just landline phone cords.
But a few of the strongest survive.
A few.
Now, with
A few
time as
good
the main
proteins.
ingredient, evolution of life is inevitable. Eventually,
Inevitable.
from the complex
Like-
Yeah, like it's a problem you can't stop.
Like Thanos.
Like, no, it's coming.
living cell,
Can't do anything about it. It's coming.
microscopic speck of jelly,
It's like, oh damn,
Oh.
Earth's got,
reproduce with great
like-
speed.
Yeah.
it's like, oh damn, Earth's got life,
The
man.
internal
Oh, I
process
feel
Yeah.
that.
of change continues.
Hey Moon, can I come around and hang out? No, you got humans. Last time you came around, I contracted humans for a month.
Blue-green algae, the first primitive plants. In shallow pools, the chlorophyll.
The way he said that with like the gravitas to it was like the progenitor species, the ultimate life form. Like, you know, look back at our ancestor in despair.
Making possible
We are but an abomination from our great ancestor.
ages roll by.
Ages.
The first minute cells of animal life
Ah.
appear,
Loose sperm.
dependent on oxygen from the plants to survive.
Someone just JO'd in the ocean on the drive past.
In the millions of
Actually, here's a
centuries that
question.
follow,
Who the
Yeah.
heck is the
variety of
narrator?
plant and animal life
Who is the narrator?
Yeah, I want to know.
endless adaptation, constant
Dunno.
change,
We'll find it at the end, I'm sure, but-
through inconceivable lengths of time.
Science Theatre 3000. That's what this feels like.
At last, from the maternal sea,
Is that a coal?
life emerges ready to challenge
What are those
the
fish?
hostile
The
forces
Co-
of a
coil-
new
co- co-
environment. The patches
You know, the
of
ones that
living
they thought were
things,
extinct and then they found them in a pond somewhere in Russia?
Yeah.
Something billion years old.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck, look at Mohawk Magoo over there. Fuck, he's cool. What is that? Velocibrontosaurus?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Look at the head on Stegosaurus, man.
Yeah. The amount of time Stegosaurus between this video coming out, or sorry, this movie thing seen, and us watching it, the amount of times he's been extinct. Sorry, not extinct. Fake, and then brought back into being a real animal. Jesus, all those megafauna you just showed were all in Australia. That was the demon duck of doom, the marsupial lion, the marsupial tiger. Is that a hippo? Oh yeah, they're actual animals now. Okay. I was like, is that a hippo?
And finally,
during the last few seconds
Ah,
of the
silhouette man.
is man.
Oh, a tasteful silhouette.
almost, can we, I'm going to risk it. An Ubermensch.
Walt Disney approved.
Oh, by the
That's-
way,
yeah.
on a completely unrelated topic, I found out who the narrator is.
Oh fuck! You know what? You never let me have a moment.
Yeah.
Just keep the video going. Let me find out for myself, and I can be like, oh, don't know who that is.
The chemical processes that keep man alive are dependent on a never-ending supply of oxygen.
I like how he's got blood vessels coming out of his head
The
and into his
automatic
head.
Yeah.
maintains an internal temperature of 98.6
Well, you know,
degrees.
the dreadlock people that they see.
Exposure to severe heat or cold upsets his delicate balance by just a few degrees.
I love the idea that that upsets our delicate balance. Yet compared to certain animals, we're super durable.
Carry on his everyday life within a temperature range of about 100 degrees.
Yeah, most animals can't do that though.
Life as
No.
we know it exists within this same temperature span.
No,
There
like
are some exceptions.
okay, cows maybe, but different breeds of cow. We don't have different breeds of human.
Bacteria can withstand more severe heat and cold. Broad as life's temperature range seems
I like the
to us
idea that when it gets hot, you put on a like
compared to the bitter cold
rice hat and a fucking nappy.
that mark the extremes curves of our solar system. At one end, the sun blazes at 10,000 degrees. Its
That sounds
radiance
very low.
dissipates rapidly.
Oh, that's
After
Fahrenheit.
1 billion miles, we find the outer planets: Uranus, Neptune, and
Sorry.
Pluto.
I'm a child. I just... Oh, wow. Sorry.
Radiant heat dissipates rapidly until after 1 billion miles we find the outer planets: Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Pluto is a fucking.
I couldn't even do it. I knew it was coming. Oh man.
According to Walt Disney, Pluto's a planet.
Disney's got the money and he knows.
Temperatures of more
You just
than
gotta tell him it's not a
300
chew.
degrees below zero.
Or
Here on
black.
Pluto, the distant sun glows but
Wow, that is a very realistic looking photo.
frozen gas.
I know it's not actually Pluto, but
Here on Earth, man would succumb in 15 seconds from the complete lack of oxygen. His body
Like in
sinks
space.
solid in a few minutes.
like in space.
Moving nearer to the sun, we find Saturn. In spite
Oh
of its
no.
majestic
Oh no.
the poisonous atmosphere
I know they're gonna get to you. They're gonna get to it, and I'm gonna just laugh. Ah, fart gas.
Jupiter is closer to the sun, but is still intolerably cold at 200 degrees below freezing. Like Saturn, its air
Fahrenheit.
is poisonous. Again, man would quickly suffocate from lack
Isn't there a
of
Japanese movie where it's like
oxygen.
Journey to the
Body
Center of
drawn
Saturn
by
or something?
dense gases, blowing in
Was that an
gales
American
up to
movie?
400
I'm not
miles
sure.
an hour. These outer planets are far too cold and
Oh, thank God they
hostile
didn't
for
mention
life
it.
as we know it.
I don't think I could have held it.
Visit Mercury, the planet closest to the sun, he would
Uranus?
find it much too hot for life to exist.
Uranus.
Mercury is a small and airless world, with one burning face turned always to the sun. Man's blood would boil in this vacuum, and his lifeless body would be incinerated in seconds.
Nah, I'll show you. Prove it.
We move away from the sun toward the Earth. We enter the temperature zone favorable to life. In this
Favorable?
golden zone are
The
the
golden
orbits of
zone.
Venus, Earth,
I thought
and
Venus
Mars.
was still dangerous.
There may be life on Venus, but
No.
we know very little about our sister planet, for her mysteries lie shrouded beneath an
Her mysteries lie shrouded.
Beyond the Earth, at the outer fringe of life's temperature zone, is Mars.
What's with the depiction of like these highways?
Where life could exist. Even though scientists think Martian conditions are severe, they believe that if man journeyed to Mars, he could survive here with moderate protection. He
Moderate.
would need his own oxygen supply and some sort of protective covering.
Like a nappy.
Life would be almost normal within pressurized houses.
Ah, the
and
Jetsons.
pressurized cities. Today, as we face the serious problems of overpopulation and depletion
Wow.
of natural
They
resources,
wait until Korea happens, but oh no, wait, it's the 56. Never mind. They know Korea.
is of increasing
Wait until Vietnam and then
plans for the future.
yeah. I like how they thought overpopulation was bad then. Wait until you see what happens to China in a few years, buds.
Do we have that Mars is a planet where life could exist?
Oh, I thought he was just gonna say where Mars is a planet. I'm like, well, it's there.
Here we find that from earliest history, Mars has been an object of great interest.
Yeah, we always have.
To the ancients, Mars was only a wandering bright light in the sky. It was the blood-red symbol of war. But to Galileo, the first man to see it through a telescope, Mars appeared as a glowing red disk where sometimes a shadow appeared on one side. As telescopes
Like me.
improved, astronomers began to notice mysterious markings, which they carefully recorded with drawings. Each decade brought new discoveries. It was found that Mars rotated on its axis like the Earth. It had white spots at the north and south poles. The dark areas seemed to be permanent shapes. In 1781, astronomer Sir William Herschel, using a telescope of large proportions and increased accuracy, discovered
It's like a
that the
fucking
white polar
cannon.
caps of Mars increased during the Martian winter and decreased with the coming of summer. By 1840,
Well, where did it go?
interest in Mars had mounted to the point where the first crude map was attempted outlining the areas thought to be continents and seas.
By beer and Madler.
One clear night in 1877, Giovanni Schiaparelli made an historic observation. He saw the surface of Mars crisscrossed with a network of lines which seemed to connect the dark areas. He called them canali, or channels.
See, again, I've never known such a thing.
Percival Lowell was so intrigued by Schiaparelli's findings that he built an observatory in Arizona dedicated primarily to the observation of Mars. Over a period of 20 years, Lowell and his assistants kept a nightly vigil whenever Mars was in the sky. A very important clue in the Martian mystery was uncovered by Lowell. When the polar caps increased in the fall and winter, the dark blue-green areas turned a brownish purple and grew fainter. With the coming of spring and summer, the polar caps receded. The blue-green areas gradually appeared again. This led Lowell to believe these regions must be great expanses of vegetation, irrigated by the melting snows of the ice caps. Lowell theorized that this was accomplished by the large network of canals. He realized that it was impossible to see a clear picture of Mars because of the disturbing movement of the Earth's atmosphere. Nevertheless, he maintained that the canals appeared too symmetrical and well organized to be accidental. Lowell concluded Mars to be a dying planet inhabited by intelligent beings who, with their giant network of waterways, were fighting a desperate battle for survival. Many of Lowell's interpretations of what he saw on Mars have been questioned by other astronomers.
Yeah.
Some observers claim that the canals are only optical illusions,
Mm-hmm.
which, if seen up close, would break up into natural formations. There have been other mysteries to puzzle astronomers.
Hence why...
Recently, an observer saw
Yeah.
a bright flare of light suddenly appear and then slowly fade away. Was this an atomic explosion or a volcanic eruption? Or was it some sort of interplanetary signal?
Jesus
No one
Christ.
can say. In 1950,
Really going out on a ledge here, aren't they?
a new green area about the size of Texas had emerged from the red
About the size of Texas. That's a pretty large chunk.
Is this a new section opened up to irrigation by intelligent beings, or merely a natural phenomenon? Then there was
Again, I don't know anything about these, like, stripes.
Months, formed every day during the Martian afternoon. Was it another signal, or was it only a Martian dust storm?
Have you... I take it you know about them.
The observatory established by
Okay, I don't. I've never seen any depicted of it until now.
It's long, it's complicated, and I could lecture you on it,
Cool.
but I'm not going to.
I'm glad.
Basically, Schiaparelli and Lowell suffered. Basically, they thought they saw canals, but they weren't actually canals. They were
Movements of their eye and the fucking...
yeah. Basically, it was a combination of there actually were canals on Mars, just not intelligent life-made ones.
Yeah.
Because at some point in its history, there was water flowing freely on Mars.
Yes.
And
that I knew.
That's what created these canals, air quotes.
Yeah, erosion.
Yeah, it was basically erosion. But they thought, oh, it's got to be life made.
Yeah.
So.
Modern program of Martian research. The large 24-inch refracting telescope still plays an important role in solving the puzzle of Mars. A member of the observatory staff for 50 years is the senior astronomer, Dr. E.C. Slifer, who is considered to be one of the world's foremost authorities on the planet.
Slifer, no slifing.
Whether or not there is life on Mars is pure speculation. Before we imagine our neighbor as a planet teeming with
Won't you be my neighbor?
And exotic
Is that not what it sounds like?
Let us first consider some of the facts
a little bit.
Won't you be my neighbor, Mr. Martian?
We know that Mars moves in an elliptical path around the sun, and it takes a little less
Sick model, dude.
years to complete the trip. Since Mars travels almost twice as slow as the Earth, we can only observe the planet close up every 2 years. Mars occasionally comes as near as 35 million miles. We know also that Mars is about half the size of Earth, and its gravity is 1/3 as strong. Like the Earth, Mars rotates, and its day is approximately a half hour longer than our own. It has 2 tiny moons which revolve about the planet at great speeds. Also, like the Earth, its axis is tilted, creating the seasons of spring, summer, fall, and winter. In speculating about life on Mars, we must consider these 3 important factors: its air, its temperature, and its surface features. To roughly determine what sort of air Mars has, we use a spectrograph.
We hope to send someone in the XR1.
The light received from Mars into a band of colors like a rainbow. By analyzing this spectrum picture, astronomers
But they're busy
find
fighting the
Martian
communists on the fucking moon.
is quite different from that of the Earth. It probably consists mostly of nitrogen and a small amount of carbon dioxide.
I love this stuff, like the idea of using something so basic and simple to figure out something so difficult and improbable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, can you breathe that planet? I don't know, I'm gonna beam some light on it and find out.
It tells
Like,
us that
fucking
the temperature
genius
of Mars
shit.
sometimes reaches a balmy 85 degrees during the day, but drops to 95 degrees below zero in the coldest part of the night.
So Australia.
There's a certain amount of guesswork about the surface.
But that's all Fahrenheit, so it means nothing.
It's a rosy orange color with patches of darker green. But what causes this coloring?
That doesn't look green to me at all.
These bright regions could be dry, sandy deserts.
Maybe I'm finding out I'm colorblind.
No, they're not green.
Too faint to
Oh, thank God.
instantaneous photograph.
Or if they are green, they're
An
like a
exposure
greenish
time of at
black.
least 1 second
Yeah,
must be used.
that's what I would have said. It might just be the film that they're using.
Yeah.
To keep the movement of the Earth's atmosphere from blurring the final photo. For this reason, photographic proof of the Martian canals has never been obtained. With the meager information that has been accumulated over a period of years,
Accumulated.
astronomers cannot draw too many definite conclusions about Mars. We realize there are
God,
probably
I feel bad because I know that guy's probably died,
any one of
and he
which
won't ever get to see, like,
has
Curiosity's
found
pictures.
there is life as we know it on Mars.
Why the that's what we should go to Mars for, just to get Curiosity back. Just rock up to Mars, grab Curiosity and be like, that's all we came for, fuck yous.
Many scientists
We want our shit back.
speculate on what the planet might be like if conditions were somewhat different.
Utah.
With a little more water and oxygen than expected, there could be an astonishing array of life on Mars. A totally different sequence of living things following its own pattern of evolution. There may be plant life that migrates in search of richer soil.
Would that still be plant life though? Is it?
There may be plants that feed on other plants.
The spice must flow.
I was about to say!
Ugh.
The spice melange! Ah, the flying spaghetti monster! That eats itself!
Animal life has developed on Mars.
What the fuck is that?
Too may have taken many new and unexpected forms.
I don't know,
There
but
could be animals with heavy insulation to conserve body heat in the sub-freezing night. Or perhaps the bitter surface
Land snail.
conditions have driven some life underground to develop in a dark, mysterious environment.
I like the idea that underground is dark and mysterious. We just don't know, god damn it.
If it is true that there are dust storms on Mars, life could have evolved ways of protecting itself. On the other hand, there might be creatures that actually thrive on the ever-present dust. Some organisms working with powerful digestive acids may be able to feed directly on minerals in the rocks,
Fucking hell.
leaving a fantastic...
These alien ideas are straight up acid fuel. Like, they've just gone, make me a copper mine, or like an iron mine, but make it alien. Yeah, okay. And then say that they're aliens. Right, whatever.
portas.
Yeah.
In the thin Martian air, there are creatures that fly. Their
Ah!
wings of
The magic carpet from Aladdin's prototype!
as large as those on Earth. However, flight may be achieved by other means.
Well, no, we're still assuming aerodynamics works.
Even as on Earth, life would surely be a companion
Ah, the harpoon
for
plant.
survival. There might be fantastic hunters who kill by concentrating the heat of the sun on their victims.
Fuck. Yeah, the heat ray bug.
Devastating creatures that envelop their quarry in shrouds of poisonous gas.
Oh.
Eat shit and die.
Or maybe ominous ultrasonic beings who shatter their prey with
Fuck,
high-frequency
this is some nightmare fuel. Were I to be a kid and thought Mars was a possible alien world, this shit would scare me.
chemical patterns of life may have developed on Mars.
I can see now how the idea of the War of the Worlds broadcast made people jump off buildings.
Resistant to the extreme cold, providing a whole new range of weird forms. Feeding on the drifting sand, tall
Yeah, I could really understand how they were like ready for a fucking Martian invasion when he did the broadcast, because them thinking this exists is fucking terrifying. Look, this could well exist on a planet somewhere,
Oh god, yeah.
and I'm sure that's terrifying to someone. My idea is fucking stamping my human fucking Nike boot into the planet and going, fuck off, bitch! It's my planet now!
unable to comprehend the
Come and take some alien rump. I'll fight you. I've read HYF.
planet.
Or HFY. I'll fight an alien. Fuck yeah, humanity. Look, I am an honest, true believer that the moment we find aliens, racism will be eradicated on Earth. Because we'll be like, oh, he's fucking different. Kill him first. Don't like the look of his tentacle face. Ooh, I don't like it. His fucking his little blinker boy on the top of his head. I don't. Nah, his dingle bopper doesn't do it for me. Look at that. Look at that cross. Like, that man married an alien. Burn his house down. Burn a cross into his yard. There we go. I don't condone burning crosses into yards and
By the way, we still
killing
got,
people.
by the way, we still got 12 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Wow, I was blowing my load on that.
Yeah, you were. Dial it back down, man. Dial it back down.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, electromagnetic drive.
Ah, here we go. This is an early model by the looks of it.
Yep. Or the prototype.
Yeah, it's not even the first. Yeah.
An atomic-powered spaceship has been suggested by a leading scientist in the rocket and
Ooh, a
guidance
leading
field.
scientist.
What's his German name though?
Stuhlinger. Been working closely with the rocket engineer, Dr. Werner von Braun.
Oh, it's
This atomic spaceship
he got paid more by Disney than he did the American military.
traveled along
I think he did, actually.
Yeah.
expenditure of fuel. Parts
Well, this is what 2 years after the last one. Oh, we're still working the same idea, right?
fuel rockets.
I think this is a year after it. Yeah, this is
Okay.
a year.
Okay.
This unusual ship will be 500 feet across and will carry a small
Well, we've changed design ideas. Oh no, this is galactic, like intergalactic travel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Located at the bottom
Okay.
is a small atomic reactor which furnishes a continuous supply of heat.
An
This heat
atomic
turns
reactor.
silicon oil into
Yeah.
steam. After rising up a central pipe,
Silicon oil,
drives a
Jesus.
turbo generator which produces electricity to run the ship. The steam is condensed in a giant circular cooler and used over and over again. In the thrust chamber, a platinum grid
Ooh,
is charged.
yeah.
The metallic element cesium is vaporized and blown through the white-hot grid. This ionizes the cesium atoms, and they are then electrically blasted out into space at the rate of billions per second.
How much cesium do you need?
Ship in the opposite
Because
direction.
I assume you run out of cesium eventually.
This electric spaceship can operate continuously for a period of years.
Not
The
much.
top of the ship, away from the dangerous atomic reactor, is cargo space and quarters for a crew of 20 men.
Oh,
Mounted outside
2001.
the chamber assembly is the auxiliary landing craft. When our ship
Also
reaches
known as
Mars,
a
the
Martian
landing
V2.
craft will be released,
Yeah.
carrying men and supplies to the planet's surface. The drag chute will gradually slow the landing craft as it streaks into the Martian atmosphere.
That
Drake.
parachute is not big enough.
The main rocket
No.
motors will be fired, and the craft will land gently on its nose.
It's not its nose, that's its ass.
Wow, I like the idea that that little nozzle there held it perfectly straight.
By blasting off in the tail section of the landing craft.
Okay, they've switched it around.
Wow, we've gone to disposable weapons craft now.
It will take 13 months and 6 days. Starting 1,000 miles above the Earth, the spaceship will slowly accelerate.
Sorry, I have to say this. They are explaining a Holman transfer,
Right.
which
I've heard of a Holman transfer. I don't have a fucking clue what that is, but now that I've seen it,
they're explaining it.
yeah.
Accelerate for 4 months before escaping the Earth's gravity. For the next 7 months, the ship will follow a curved path, finally entering the gravitational field of Mars. An additional 2 months will be spent spiraling into a circular orbit, 620
Yeah, there's a
miles above the
Interstellar, I think is the game. Interstellar something. Yeah, and you pretty much have two planets in a solar system that blast each other,
space station,
and you're trying to like do whole whatever you just said maneuvers onto each other with artillery guns.
comprised of 6 ships. Time
Ah, the space fleet.
2 minutes before departure.
Where's the USS Enterprise?
Completed.
Whee!
Oh, that's the little model from last time.
Yep. There's another one.
Ah, that's kinky. I like how even in the spaceship they're in the dark room.
Mm-hmm.
Those earphones look painful. I'm wearing a headset that's got padding and it hurts my ears. That looks like it's painful.
So
The assault troops are underway.
Sorry. So we're gonna name these. We're gonna go with Enterprise,
Yeah, of course.
Lexington. So actually,
Yep.
we'll do this. We'll do Lexington, Enterprise, Lexington, Saratoga,
Yeah. Wasp.
Wasp, Hornet, Langley.
Right. Done.
Or even better, you know what? Let's replace Langley with Akagi.
Oh no, let's not and say we did.
Our fleet climbs beyond the space station, beginning its outward spiral around the Earth.
Zukaku. We call it Zukaku and just call it clap our hands, job done. Look at that. The Martians are just like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, we're still on Earth, never mind.
Racing steadily.
Come in, Mexico. We are surrender now and you will not be harmed.
I like the fact that these things actually have missiles,
Yeah.
After 4 months and 17
and not
days,
just these.
850
Yeah.
miles out, the expedition finally escapes the Earth's gravity.
Imagine if
Finally.
the first one exploded. The rest of them would be fucked.
Yeah, like German tank tactics in Normandy. Just hit the first one, they can't get around the barrage or around the wreckage. They're fucked.
Mars is steadily increasing in size. The halfway point
Soon.
has been reached.
Soon.
Thrust chambers are reversed.
Ooh, kinky.
Acceleration begins. The Earth grows smaller.
No, not the Earth. This is some Thunderbirds-esque music and I love it.
Crew members
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
the Earth across the face of the sun.
Soul.
3 months later, the expedition is 700,000 miles above Mars, and the 45 days
Deposits troops onto the planet. This is just a continuation of War of the Worlds, like a now it's our turn, bitch.
tiny Martian moons Deimos and Phobos are visible to the
It's the other way around, jackass.
Yeah. She tried it. Now it's our turn. And this time we also forgot about bacteria. Hang on. This may not end well.
We get a close-up view of the moon Phobos.
No, humanity would go with the nuclear option. Just sit in orbit and just drop those things as scuds.
6 days.
Yep.
Our voyage to Mars
and then land troops and make them walk into the nuclear cloud because they don't understand that nukes are bad yet.
Before exploration begins, test missiles are fired to sample the strange new atmosphere.
To sample the atmosphere. Yes. We'll launch a JDAM to see if the planet's hospitable. If it doesn't return anti-air fire, it's safe.
To attempt the hazardous 600-mile drop to the Martian surface.
Salt Company ready.
This is a crucial moment.
Say what you will, the music is great.
Yeah. I mean, it's very period piece, but it fucking fits. It's very nice. No Disney coin was spared. Disney bucks is a good word. Again, just like last time, not a failure in sight.
Nope.
Yeah, when the Disney company puts their money into these space exploration events, they really bring it home. What was the one we did last time? We entered space, that's right.
Yeah.
Now we get to fight land plants. Worm plants.
Will he find the remains of a long dead civilization? Or will the
Yeah, just a few huts in the desert. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Science be borne out with the discovery of a cold and barren planet where only a low form of vegetable life struggles to survive.
Vegetable life.
These questions will be answered by our space pioneers of the future.
Yeah, drones. Fucking Curiosity figures it out for us.
Man may find a key that opens the first small door to the universe.
The Martians are back.
On the wings of modern science, man in the years that follow.
I like the idea that our highest technology was to make UFOs of our own and take it back to the Martian hordes. Like, haha, ours. Like they did it to us, so it's only fair.
The humans have arrived. In what?
Yeah.
UFOs.
Yeah, in what looks like the early model. What did they say? Electro.
We'll tell you the story of the Horse of the West. Rugged.
Jesus, what a sidestep.
A hard-working quarter horse has
The irony is I actually kind of want to watch that.
in the growth of our great Western cattle.
Fuck, I was a cavalry trooper and I don't give a fuck. I don't care about horses.
It's actually not on Disney Plus. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Is it coming?
Next week, from
Look at the one. Look at him.
Disney brings you a stirring saga. The Horse.
Well, they are really trying to sell this, aren't they? Rex Allen.
Time, the dramatic, authentic story of the most famous cattle empires of the West, of California, Arizona, Texas. For the
What
first
about?
time, you'll visit the
Okay.
renowned Wagner Remuda and the fabulous King Ranch. For the first time, you'll actually see what the cowboy and his horse are like as you live their real-life adventures on the open range.
Beans and farts.
The lovely, versatile, talented Elena Vasquez, a name that is legend in California ranching history.
I don't think it is.
Here in this robust land throughout the years, men have
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our science adventure that is now horse and equine related.
endless studies. Their
That's a good rump.
have developed the regal
Uh,
lines of the quarter horse. The
Dad, why do you have a book with pictures of a horse in it? Don't look at that! That's for work.
incredible stamina, speed of the wind, magnificent
Yeah.
heart and spirit, and gifted
Except
with
that
just plain
New South Wales whalers have way more stamina than any other horse.
sweeping
And you
panorama
wish you
of
had
romance and adventure,
whaler stamina,
horses and men,
bitch.
moves
Don't
up
you ever talk shit on horses. I don't even care about horses, I don't know what I'm saying.
Bay Lady, last of her bloodline of famed quarter horses.
Miss Vasquez, I guess you've hit a soft spot in me, but I'm gonna let you have that filly.
You mean it?
We'll wean her in about 6 months, and I'll ship her out to you.
You'll never regret it.
Oh, she's not real, it's a character. Okay, that's why.
Comes to the little filly,
I thought it was an actual,
gun.
cow
Surrender
woman.
your heart to the lame white work mare who gave her foster motherhood.
That's a boy!
Moving drama.
That's a penis.
Streets of fate passes Bay Lady from one to another, yet never
Yeah.
loses
Okay. So it's a
proud
story, not a.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Bay Lady
Okay.
was truly a child of chance. No one can remain untouched by the suspense-filled moments when Bay Lady and her firstborn are trapped in the mountain fastness, alone.
Well, spoilers! Come on.
Closing in.
Fuck.
Be with us next week in Frontierland to explore
Oh Jesus Christ!
the
Really?
adventure.
Oh my God.
Disney's The Horse
The
of
Disney Corporation's like, well, we can't have the horse die. Send a fucking chopper. Okay. I want the Disney Marines to get in there and secure that position
Motion Picture Theater's
before those fucking Mick Marines get in here.
a rare entertainment experience.
Oh, Old Yeller? Oh wow, okay.
The moving story of Fred Gibson's best-selling novel comes a new Walt Disney motion picture. Sure. to
Oh
touch the
wow.
hearts of everyone.
Ads as well, like Disney ads. Ah, poor Freeze. Okay.
One everywhere. Old
And then
Yeller,
we go back
the
to
thrilling
Mad in
story of
Space.
a remarkable
Yeah.
Texas family and
It's
an
it's
old
it's
Yeller
basically
dog
a recurring
of
thing.
saving their lives.
Yeah.
Old Yeller, co-starring Dorothy McGuire and Fess Parker. And Old Yeller himself, friend when he wanted to be, fighting fool when he had to be. Walt Disney
Fighting fool when he had to be.
Old Yeller, coming to motion picture
Is that a man in a bear costume?
This has
Or is that an
been
actual
Disney
bear that got the dog
when
to
he had
fight?
be. Walt Disney's dramatic new movie,
Because look, it does that, and that's like, it looks like a guy there. Mind you, I don't know what a bear actually does. I've never seen a bear in real life.
Network film presentation.
Up until that point, it looked like a legitimate bear, and then when it stands up, I know bears do that, but then it like backs away and squares up like a guy in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed this.
Okay, we're gonna stop recording.